furnace of steel. Beneath the hammer, the secrets reveal. The clang, the spark, the rhythm I feel. Rings in my hands, they bind, they sing. Forge the past in a circle of string. To the ring, rings, weaving time, weaving kings. To the ring, rings, crafting fate with metal wings. To the rings, all the chains, the lore it brings.
Okay, trying some new stuff. Seeing how this is working. So, without any further ado, start going in and doing my thing. So, looks like everything is behaving the way that I really would like it to, so I'm happy about that. And time to just start prepping some stuff. Hey, Thesis. Hey, Trey. And I had some, well, it helps if I can actually see the links I'm trying to work with. So, hopefully, your days are going well. Usually, yeah. Let's go in here and let me get that in. The music in the background, hopefully it's not too obnoxious, is just some AI stuff I was goofing around with on Suno to when I was getting everything ready to try to come up with my theme. Words. They is hard. One of these days I'll learn how to use them. It's not like I use them for a living. But hopefully everyone's day is going well. I slept for about probably maybe 15 minutes or so last night. I've been up again ever since. A lot of it screwing around with trying to make that intro. Now, I mean, the AI music has been sitting on that account since November. if any of you feel like actually popping in and actually chatting via voice, y'all have ops, so you are welcome to. Currently, I'm just getting more stuff ready for the next stripe of the Fourth Doctor scarf. For anyone who has not seen me or joined me before, I do chainmail. On Kick, I am Ring Dude Rich. On YouTube, I am Ring Dude Rich and R. Asplin Jr. On Twitch, I am R. Asplin Jr. Although some people just say Rasplin Jr., which is perfectly fine, well. And a lot of folks just call me Ras. But I do chainmail. One of the projects I am working on is the Fourth Doctor scarf. I do have a little over 16% of it done. So it is going to be 12 feet long and 11 inches wide when it is at its full completion. So the next row I am working on is another row of V10. The rings I am using are 16 gauge 1/4 inner diameter, and those were purchased from the Ring Lord. And the color I am using for the tan is the champagne color, because it's hard to find exact matches for the actual yarn that was used, at least in chainmail. But one day I was looking for cool stuff to do, and came across a page where someone had done a Fourth Doctor scarf. They chose a different color combination than I did. They went a little bit further afield. I tried to stay a little bit closer to what the actual scheme is. And that's nothing against them. It's just, my choice versus their choice. So, but just try to make it the best of the afternoon. That's the thing that is kind of a pain, is there tends to be a lot of prep work, and kind of looks a little bit boring because it's just that guy on screen, bending rings open. There's some first foot clothes. I need that over there for an area where I might need an actual closed ring. So that's odd. I might be having a stroke. Out of nowhere, I'm smelling stuffed peppers. But anyways, for those again who aren't familiar with me, I knit metal. I am part of the Independent Creators Directory, indcd.org. .org because it's too much fun to be at .com. My buddy Joe started it, and I joined him in the business venture. Yeah. I'm also one of the people on the page. Talking my services to whoever else out there, wants and or needs them. But ndcd.org is a fun place to be. A bunch of differently minded folk in the creative space, and it's a place for creatives to connect, talk to each other, make sure that we can spread the word and not have to worry about an algorithm being a gatekeeper of what is good. But it allows us to connect with other creatives, and maybe someone is a comic book writer and they need a comic book artist, and they can go there and they can look at the artist, and they can go ahead and find a decent match. So it's a mission I believe wholeheartely in. Otherwise, I wouldn't have bought into it. Quite literally. But Joe has taken on a lot to care for and do it all on his own, and I'm like, hey, let me help. So yeah. But just rambling here. But again, there's writers, there's jewelry makers, there's screamers, authors. I believe there's editors and proofreaders out there as well. With a couple of folks who are actually watching live, you already know this because you're already part of it. But for anyone else that comes and sees it later, it's a good place to be. It's a lot of good people. Again, I wouldn't have teamed up with it in any way, shape, and form if I didn't believe in it. So hopefully your day is going well wherever you're at. 29 degrees according to windows here. Comfortable weather for me. Probably not too many other folks. God, getting used to that bed is weird. My hearing aids are tied into my phone, so they'll it'll beep when getting messages and stuff like that, and it's really weird because it's piped directly into my ear. And I didn't think it'd be any different than wearing headphones. Ooh, big difference. Big difference. But, you know, open your day is going good wherever you're at. You know, 21st day of February, in 3 days, it's the 12th anniversary of my mom's passing. So I'm not in the best of headspaces to begin with. So this is a great day to try to do a little test stream and see how everything's behaving and try to actually start doing some stuff for the channel and you know, doing what I should. I should have been doing this a long time ago. I should have launched this a very long time ago. But kept letting myself get in my own way. So thank you for all of my loved ones out there who have been trying to light a fire under my ass for this and for the other projects. Things that go bump the line. And yeah, if Nick ever bothers watching this, yeah, it's I am working on the fire as well. The easiest way to get my buddy Nick to Twitch is for me to look at him and just say 2 words. The 5. Started as a NaNoWriMo idea 15 years ago, 14 years ago, something like that. And it got stalled. Tried running a game of Fate. And then used that as the backdrop. And of course, you know, my buddy Nick is the forever DM, and he got to play, and now he got kind of a peek behind the curtain of what's in the world, and he's like, I want more. So it's another project I am working on. I'm working on just a few things. I'm just a lot of it ADHD. So I have a few things going on at any given second. So I'm working on several pieces of fiction. I am working on technically it's nonfiction, but it's still about mythology and lore, so it's kind of still fiction. Detailing werewolves, man beasts, shape changers, and river killers throughout the world. I'm calling it Where the Where. WHERE, the WERE. So, but fun. So I've been rambling for 20 minutes now. I'll probably get just a little bit more done as far as prep, and then I will go ahead and do a little bit more on the actual strike that is sitting there waiting for me. So the Tom Baker scarf that I'm doing, the Doctor Who scarf, is going to be a European 4-in-1. So this is the next section. So I've got my width of it, and then this is how wide the stripe is going to be. Pull that across, attach it, move on to create my next piece. This way I'm not sitting here trying to attach and work the working end of a several pound piece of metal for every single ring I'm putting on. That gets just a little bit cumbersome. Other things that I am working on as far as chain goes at the moment, I am also working on a European 4-in-1 necktie, but instead of the neckties that you often see. So this is a European 4-in-1. This is 16 5/16. My best friend got this off of, I think, Pink Geek or something like that. And the funny thing is, it's not too far off of how I normally do it. A couple different design changes over what I do, which I kind of like, and I might try to adopt. But I do have two that I've made. I think they're out there somewhere. Either that or they're in the pile of projects over here. But so when it comes to European 4-in-1, there's a right lay and a wrong lay. So this is actually the wrong way for it to sit because of how it pulls against the grain. So how it should sit is like this. Oh, I just scatter rings all over the freaking place. So it should sit is actually like this. So that's what I'm doing, is I'm actually trying the necktie in a proper lay. So, and then whether that works or not, I've also got at least 5 more different ways that I'm going to, or at least colors, I should say, for the European 4-in-1 necktie. So the ties that I have out in the other room, one is 16 gauge 1/4, so it's the same type of rings that I'm using here, but I have that in a Kelly green. And then the other is a 18 gauge 1/4 in bright aluminum. So Ted decided he was trying to get a shepherd's pie for lunch/dinner. I'll have to find one for him at W. Sullivan's Lowell. Shepherd's pie sounds tasty as all hell right now. But for those that don't know, our friend Ted, Dawn's beloved, is going through some health issues, and he is starting to get his appetite back. So he lost a lot of weight, so hopefully he can start gaining some back, and it helps him regain his energy and health. And there's 1 second while I try to find. That's right here. So we're just talking about Dawn's beloved Ted. Um, uh, link here for a shirt to help go towards the costs of his cancer treatments. It's I helped Ted kick cancer in the throat. The point of that is that Ted is dealing with throat cancer currently, which is why he's had no appetite and not being able to eat. And it's a good thing that he can eat now. So if you can see it in your heart to give in that capacity, and if you can't give in that capacity, prayers, white light, love, good vibes, whatever mojo you put forth in the universe to try to get the world to be a better place around you. If you can put some of that out there, that is always appreciated. I'm a man of a very bizarre and interesting faith, so we won't bother going into that right now. But you'll see a lot of Viking inspired iconography and structure to my life. So you'll see a lot of runes, you'll see a lot of Yggdrasil. It's a lot of Norse blood in my lineage, so it's something I've always held back to, and I've always been very proud of. I mean, the actual ancestors, not the stupid white power bullshit that some fuckers, try to co-opt my ancestry for. But yeah, if you can see it in your heart, to try, and the sizes of the loose shirts go all the way from small to extra fat ass. And I'm able to say that because that's the size I wear, 5X. So, share screen flag. So that's what we're just talking about. I'll go ahead and take that down. But yeah, so Ted's good people. I really enjoy his company. To top it off, some might look at it as little sister, loves him to pieces. So, we kind of want him sticking around. But I'm the kind of guy that I would like the world left a little better than I found it. someone said, leave the wood pile a little higher. It's too many people in this world are attacking each other and trying to tear each other down. And I don't believe in that. I hate that. It really irritates me. The infighting just annoys the crap out of me. And too many people try to tear each other down because they don't feel that they'll get ahead unless they do that. That the only way that they can get anywhere in this world is if they kneecap somebody else, and that's not the way. I mean, we should be reaching a hand down to help others up around us and help build others up. And that's what I try to live my life off. I don't always succeed, but I try. I work IT for the day job. On the training side of it. So I teaching people how to use technology, things of that nature. It's the majority of my time in IT I have spent supporting law firms. And like I said, it's a good portion of that of the past 13, 14 years has been actually on the training side rather than the actual troubleshooting side. Although there is a lot of troubleshooting in what I have to do as well. So I'm not completely out of the troubleshooting side. It's just I spend more of my day creating materials and teaching people and creating classes to teach people rather than scouring, for help desk tickets and stuff like that for things to do. Transitioned from the company I used to work for last year and to a new company. So it's an interesting transition. It's an interesting point of view change. It's I went from a very large firm to a firm that is the size of the IT department at the firm I used to work. So it's a little weird. And my IT department over here is 4 people, including me. So, and that's also including the actual IT manager, who is still troubleshooting things in the trenches as well. So, it's easy lifestyle. But I love my firm. I'm happy where I'm at now. I didn't realize how unhappy I was at where I was at. And I don't think it was just because of work. I think there was other things involved as well, because I was having some mental health crises last year when everything went down. So, not happy about the way I left the firm. But now that I left the firm, I'm happy I left the firm. Because if that's the way that they're going to play, I'm, I'm glad I got out of that situation before it got truly toxic. And I'm not saying the firm as a whole was bad. I love my old firm. And I'm really saddened that I'm no longer working for them. But yeah. The team I was on, with the mental health issues I was having, it just was a great place to be. Anyways, I'm continuing to ramble like a moron. But I hail from the OK state of Indiana. I work in Chicago. Grew up in Crown Point. I live out in the port. My wife's out from this way. Kind of wish I was a little closer to Chicago. The only reason for that is because I do have to actually commute in 3 days a week, and that makes that drive just a little bit shorter. And if I was closer, the train would be closer, so the train ride would be shorter too, and stuff like that. But I decided to take the train or whatever. So I mean, there's a bunch of pros and cons. Probably muck about with this for probably another, well, we'll give it 22 minutes or so to give it a good hour. And actually, you know what? If we're going to do that, let's go ahead and do this. Let's actually add some more to the pattern. So I'm being a lazy butt and making a lot more work for myself. Because that's actually all you do when you're lazy, is you make more work for yourself. So instead of doing it the right way which here would be adding one closed and one open at the same time, I'm just adding, you know what, heck with it. Close up a few here. So, with European foreign one, it's a versatile pattern to use. As you see, I can make a tie out of it. I can make a scarf out of it. People make shirts out of it. People make decorative wall hangings out of it. All sorts of stuff. Usually, a lot of people add to it is with one open ring that they'll put through that they'll put the next spot in the pattern. So here, what it'll be to make the next spot is to come down through that ring, under that, up, and then add my one close, and then close. So the reason this is called European 4-in-1 is because it is 4 rings that are passing through another. And it creates this kind of overlap. And again, depending on the way it hangs, you got your right hang and your wrong hang. And there's a bunch of cool stuff you can do with this. The 4-in-1, you can also do inlays where you've got crests. I've seen people do the Hylian shield for link. I've seen people do the Triforce for link. All sorts of things. Another way to do European 4-in-1 is it can be weaved into a dice bag. This is my actual dice bag for playing D&D. So I actually wove this one myself, as well as the millimeter and Celtic Cross charms. So, but very, very versatile. Very fun, very easy. So basically you're going through 2, you're going under 1 that is going to be basically the same row as the ring you're inserting, and then you're going to come up and add, if everything doesn't slip out of your hands. Okay. Now, funny thing is, when I first started doing this, I thought there was no way in hell I would be able to see and understand how everything weaves and lays and stuff like that. And it's just amazing how easy it is to see that after time. But it's a great hobby. It's something that really helps, one, my hands. It helps me keep my hands moving so that I can try not to fall to despair with arthritis. But yeah, it's no, No. Something's just. Where did I break it? Let's skip run. Yes, I was skipping a ring. But it's very monotonous. It's very. It's a pattern. It's bump 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 bump. So it's you can get yourself into a rhythm. You can get yourself into a pattern, and it's the days that it was two people out. It really helps to. Basically, detox my brain so that I've got time to unwind, I've got time to think, I've got time to mull over, I've got time to understand how my day actually went. Some days that's too much time, and as Connie Shaw of Six and Damn Yankees would say, too much time in my hands. But I enjoy it. I never in a million years before getting into mailing would think that chainmail can be this relaxing and it's rewarding. And I've made a couple bucks here and there. Not big money, literally a couple of bucks here and there. But then again, most of the things I sell, I'm still doing the prototypes and getting used to the way that the pattern works and the weave works and seeing how everything is, and it's taking freaking forever to do this or that or the next thing, and it's interesting stuff. It's fun stuff, but if I'm prototyping something, I charge fairly above materials. It's something that I do on a regular basis. Then I will go ahead and charge full price for my time. But I'm not making you pay for the 2 extra hours I had to go in and tear something apart and put it back together, and because I screwed up these 3 links here, and so I like to try a lot of new stuff, and I'm an adventuresome hobbyist. I do some laser engraving. I work with We Create lasers. I've got a Vision Pro 45 out in the hall, and then right behind me I have the 10 watt, the 10 watt blue, 3 watt red dual laser lumens, where if you actually catch me out somewhere where I'm actually at a show doing stuff like this, and I have a laser with me, it's going to be the Lumens. So I can actually, custom engrave some stuff on site or things of that nature. Got a crap ton of Lego stuff. Reminds me to put that. Right before Christmas, I got a Lego poinsettia. And the reason I got that is my mom's favorite flower was the poinsettia. So I need to actually put that together and put that in a place. A little homage to Mom. There's that word again. But yeah, it's my nerd cave is full. I actually have wire, some mandrels, and a small saw to make some links myself. So if I really have to, if I can just at least find the wire that's the color that I want and or need, then I can at least get in the ballpark. I just need it in the thickies. Which reminds me, so earlier I was throwing around some fancy words that some folks might have never heard before. Or they might have heard it before, but never in that combination in that order. So, here, what I do is I do chainmail, like I said earlier. So, one of the things that we talk about is where is my up here. So one of the things that we talk about is what you really need to do chainmail, and honestly, smooth draw pliers, jump links. All you have to have. Now, thumbs, really important too. Everything else, kind of more helpful. Not necessarily a needed. So, anything showing? Nope. I needed to make a card up to talk about that. So we'll talk real quick about what all those fancy words mean. So when you're talking about the gauge of a jump ring, you are talking about how thick the wire is. So, pull up my digital caliper here, and this is 1.6 millimeters. 1.6 millimeters, according to my handy dandy little scale on the wall here, is going to be 0.062 inches, which is 16 gauge standard wire gauge. So you'll see things as either SWG or AWG. there is a difference. In a couple of the gauges, they're exactly the same, which I think 20 is the crossover where 20 is the one where they're exactly the same. There might be another one that's a little bit higher up. But so if you are looking for your supplies and you're looking for your rings and you are given a gauge, pay attention to whether it's SWG or AWG. A lot of times I want to say the AWG has a higher number. I'll be screwing that up. So when it comes to gauges, as you step up in the number for the gauge, so 16 is this size, and then this ring right here, this gray ring, yeah. This gray ring is 18 gauge. And then an even thinner ring would be a 20 gauge, which actually, these are 20 gauge right here. And then 22 is even smaller, 24 is even smaller, 26 is even smaller. So you keep stepping up in the number of the gauge, you are actually getting thinner. And then you are looking at inner diameter. So for this, the inner diameter will be 1/4 inch. So this is a 16 gauge, 1/4 inch. And then that gives you an AR. I don't remember what the AR for that is off the top of my head. 16 1/4. If we are looking at our good friend Chainmail Joe is 4.0. So AR is aspect ratio. Aspect ratio is going to tell you what you can do with your ring. Because if things are too tight, you're not going to be able to get the bend that you really want and you really need to do something. Like for European foreign one. There's a point where you can't do this with the set of rings because of how tight everything is, and it's just going to bind up and then not be there. Now that was European form. So there's this cool thing called a jelly cube, which Mr. Bumbati, if you follow him on Twitch or Tik, he makes these all the time. I'm starting to learn and trying to muck about with making mine, and it's annoying the crap out of me. This is the jelly cube, so it is the start of the jelly cube. It is done in European. Apologies. I was just talking about European. This is done in Japanese born one. So the difference is something that is kind of a grain flow like that, where everything is flat laying on top of each other. And then the European born one, everything is more interconnected, perpendicular. So you'd have 4 perpendicular rings off of this, and then there'd be 4 perpendicular rings off of that, etc., and so on, making it more of a 3-dimensional design. So, and actually, it's looking like we have hit the hour mark. So I'm going to go ahead and call it here. Hope folks have a spectacular day. Take a light and be free.